So, this is one we've been planning to do for a while. We found it several months back, but there were only a couple of chapters into it. We like to.
But yeah, we basically just figured, like, yeah, we like to wait until it was actually finished so as to avoid the same thing that's now happening with the Durhu and the end of the Unveers and Awesome of the Rebellion.
Well, we don't know that it's happened with Awesome of the Rebellion.
Well, what I mean is just generally waiting for.
Yeah, waiting months for a new chapter.
Yeah.
But this one, finally, its status has been changed to complete, so we can safely read it. And Senpai, I think because this is, it is your channel, so I think you do the narrative bits for the most part. I'll do the author's notes, unless Cade. Oh, we have a guest reader. Cade, you want to say hi?
I was not under the impression I was actually reading things. I'm, like, chilling.
I mean, you're
I don't know.
Okay, Cade's gonna be here in the background for the most part, unless anything strikes his fancy. But anyway, I guess we should get started properly. And Cade, if there's anything you want to contribute, commentary or otherwise, go ahead. Because this is the raw recording. This is color commentary that usually ends up being. We usually post it, clean it up a little bit, but otherwise it's just the raw commentary.
Right, which is why I shouldn't have spoilers on it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, don't comment on spoilers. Just we've all read through this.
Well, the people that read it haven't, though. I mean, the people that are listening. If there are people listening.
So don't comment on things that are spoilers, but do comment on things that you find ridiculous and whatnot, because you tend to find this stuff ridiculous.
I don't understand what's
clearly
happening.
He is the only one who finds this stuff ridiculous.
So I think I guess we'll decide who's reading whose lines as we go along, but I'll maybe do the story description, and then you do the narrative for this chapter and the two chapters after that.
I feel with all this discussion we've had going on until now, maybe we actually shouldn't involve all this in the video, and maybe we should just, like, start from here or something.
Yes.
And sort of edit in the beginning part of the introductions.
I suppose.
And possibly not me, depending on if I end up talking or not, because I'm just here. Yeah.
So anyway, so I do not read the description at the moment then.
Right.
Right. Then, shall we get started then?
Yes. So, okay, we're not reading the description at all, or am I reading?
Oh, but before that, I want to just say the title. Before that, I want to just say the title, because because for some reason I've just thought of a really epic way of saying the title.
Okay.
Right, so, Whotrek, the ultimate adventure one!
And I'll read the description?
Yep.
The crew foe the Enterprise, Disvoker, a new evil that must be destroyed. Edit! Pulls red all of destroy before you judge. I am getting better at this. Lots of twists at 10.
Right, so, starting the actual story. Paste your docu, chapter 1, a new beginning.
Beginning.
Chapter 1, a new beginning. Oh wait, seeing how the way I said that earlier, I suppose I have to do the whole thing over again. Paste your docu, chapter 1, a new beginning. And so, you're doing the author's notes then?
I guess so. And thanks to all my fans, lol who will be soon, for reading this. Kirk X Doctor for the win.
That does not say for the win, that says FTW.
Okay, fine. Kirk X Doctor, FTW!
The Enterprise was in space. Jim Kirk, with a total sex bomb, or should you say that?
That's part of the story commentary, so you read that.
Okay. Was on the bridge. It isn't over water. Why do they call T a bridge, lol? Because Picard is old and bald, and ew, I'm not writing about him. Bones was there too, and he was all, damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a striper. Because Jim so good that he was, and wanted him to stripe, because Jim is the sexness. Then the Klingons came and they were like, "We are bad Klingons and we hate you for being sexa." So
That's why. That's why.
You have a better reason.
How
Jim
about the reasons in canon? I don't know.
That's Klingons, not Klingons.
So Jim said, "Set phasers to kill," and Ahura said, "And you should probably do Ahura, I think."
I'll set your phaser to kill.
Lol, get it? So then they came out and the Klingons explode, but not because of the...
No. So then they made out.
So then they made out. The Klingons explode, but not because of the makeout. Lol, the phasers did that. Then Chekhov came rushing. Get it? In. And no, I don't get that. What's the joke?
He came Russian in. Because he's Russian.
Because he's Russian.
Yes.
Captain, he cried. Our ship has been damaged. I don't know if that sounded even remotely Russian, but...
That's okay. Lol.
So anyway...
Yes, Shatner's line. Lol. 'Tis ok. I like Ahura. Better cuts. She's hot. And you're ok. But not hot, like Ahura.
Okay. But no, I mean the ship we are on in... But no, I mean the... But no, I mean the ship we are on, that it in space is have a hole.
Spapsy.
But no, I mean the ship we are on in space. But no, I mean the ship we are on, that it in Spapsy is have a hole.
What?
We are losing oxygen! And then Somion flew out the airlock, but it was okay, it was only that Wesley guy, and no one licks him, so he got sucked out the airlock and did.
Excellent.
Kirk sat back in his captain's chair, because he is the captain and hot, and said,
I want a drink.
Spock said, I will get it for you, sir. No idea if that was even remotely like Spock either, but...
You just have to sound remarkably calm and logical about
Pretend he's a robot.
Spock said, I will get it for you, sir. And then Kirk said,
Yes, you can.
and that did not sound familiar at all.
So, is it just me or does that sound like a lisp by Laura?
I would answer, but I have no idea what that is.
And then the captain of the orcs came out and said, I will get her for you, sir. And then the Dark Lord said, yes, you can. So yes, it does sound very much like that.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, the Ferengi was also attacking the Enterprise to get her with the Klingons and lolling evilly. Wait, didn't the Klingons just explode?
yes.
Continuity!
There could be more Klingons.
Ha 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 ha, they said as they hailed the Enterprise. Greetings, Captain Kirk, they said.
Who's voicing Sulu?
Ricardio.
If only we could actually get George Takei on here to voice Sulu.
Captain, it's the Ferengi. Oh my.
That's not in the words.
I love George Takei. I love George Takei.
Sad
Well,
face.
that was just for me. That was just the other time to get into character. I probably should have said that beforehand, though. Oh my, Captain, it's the Ferengi, said Sulu.
Oh god. Why?
Said Kirk, because the Ferengi were stupid and they didn't lick them very much. Then Q showed up.
Oh boy. Okay, I need to get into character as him, because I... Let's see. A couple of lines here. Au contraire, mon capitaine. He's back!
You could ask Del for
Jean-Luc. No, not Del. She'd mess it up.
what, on
Wait.
purpose?
Jean-Luc, I just realized you didn't wear a condom last night. How could... Who the hell are you?
Said Q.
Said Q.
I'm Jim. Tiberius Kirk, captain of the Us's Enterprise.
Said Kirk. Also, I am noticing that we seem to be getting a fair bit of lag with this conversation.
Seems
And
like
that
it.
bothers me.
Have you come to give me any cool gadgets, Q? No, I haven't come to give you any cool gadgets, Jin Tiberius. Sorry. No, I haven't come to give you any cool gadgets, Jin Tiberius Kirk.
Said Q. So, this emoticon, should we actually read that? I think we should. So,
No, we'll just
Colon open parentheses.
colon, parentheses.
Open parentheses.
Yes, colon. Open parentheses.
said Kirk.
Anyway, can I blow up the Ferengi and the Klingons with powers?
And from what I can see in this next line, it seems like Q's line is actually said Q and blew up Teferengi and the Klingons with his
Yes, it is. So you have to say okay first. When I say the dialogue.
Yes. Ok.
Said Q and blew up Teferengi and the Klingons with. Said Q and blew up Teferengi and the Klingons with his oikuers.
Your turn, Senpai.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to edit out some silence in even like the commentary of this video because seems to be a lot of lag. Anyway. Now that that's over with, there is an evil army on the planet below trying to conquer the universe!
I think we lost Senpai.
I'm gonna pause the red button then.
No, don't pause it. Don't pause it.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll make our dialogue even more out of sync.
Okay.
Senpai!
Hello.
Hello again. Arg, my connection is terrible.
Well, I just finished reading the Oikwares line. So you're on now that
Yeah, actually I did read the next part of it too. Yeah, well, I did read that, but I'm going to read it again then. Now that that's over with, there is an evil army on the planet below trying to conquer the universe! Oh no, said Spock, who was back from getting Kirk a drink. We must go down there and kill the evil army, said Chekhov and got his gun.
Yes, who do that?
Sad Q before teleporting off to give gadgets to Jim Bond.
Aw, sad Q!
Yes, because Q from Star Trek and Q from James Bond is the same character.
This does not surprise me.
Yes. And then afterwards, I will sex with Ahura.
Said Kirk. Captain, the logical thing ought to do in this situation ought be to have a sexy threesome. Logic Spock. No, Logic Spock.
You lose him again?
We may have. Ah!
Curse you, Norway.
Well, it's not even so much curse you Norway, it's curse you internet provider here where I live.
There you are. Okay, so we were at said Kirk, and did you say that?
Yes, and I said the line after it too. Where we get the first example of Spock logicking things. By the way, not much of a spoiler here, but pretty much every line he says after this is written with logic instead of said. That is apparently a word, according to this fanfic writer.
Wait, what's the word?
Oh, I did just notice that.
Said?
Logic.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Well, also, there is said Kirk and then sad Kirk. S-E-D and S-A-I-D.
why is he sad? He's getting make out with people.
Well, that someone said something rather than saying it is a pretty common typo, though.
Octet. We will do that.
So anyway, we must go down. So yeah, Ark. Then we will do that. Said Kirk.
And we lost him again. We don't normally have this much trouble.
Is it my fault?
No, it's the fact that he recently moved back to Norway, and his internet connection at his house is absolutely terrible.
Am I back online now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Right. So, did you say the Ark, then we will do that bit?
Yes, I did.
Okay, said Kirk. Then Kirk, Spock, Chekhov, Bones, and Wesley beamed down to the planet, but Wesley did the instantile because the evil dudes shot him.
Despite the fact that he was already killed already in this chapter.
Yes,
Charge.
shouted Jim. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a badass, whined Bones. Curses. If only we had someone who was both, logicked Spock. And then a blue box fell out of the sky and crushed Wesley to death, and out of it stepped a dandy old man with curly grey hair. Meant hair.
So, Wesley died 3 times in that chapter.
Indeed it did.
It isn't enough.